What's up, y'all? So today I'm going to be making my broccoli chicken rice and cheese casserole. These are all the ingredients that you're going to need, which can be found at your local grocery store. I'm so glad I got the time to sit down and finally record me a cooking video. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So of course, we are not using anything frozen for this dish. So I got me some fresh broccoli, which you can find it in your little fruit and veggie section at your local grocery store. And what I'm doing here is I'm just chopping it up to my liking. I like broccoli, but I don't like them big chunks or the big stems. So, do what you prefer. But me, no, I'm cutting off of the big stems and I'm making them in decent bite-sized pieces. So now all I'm going to do is I'm rinsing off my broccoli and then I'm going to place it in a strainer. Well, that's what I call it. I call it a strainer. So I'm just gonna rinse it off, put it in my strainer. I'm going to set that to the side real quick. Grab me a pot. I'm gonna fill my pot up with water and I'm gonna steam my broccoli before I mix it with any of the other ingredients that I'm gonna be using. So I fill this pot of water up and I will set my strainer on top of the water and let it steam while the water boils. So all I'm doing is placing the heat on medium high. Get the water boiling a little bit. I do not put a lid on it. I leave it like that. So yeah, I don't like that hard broccoli. So this is perfect. So what I did was go ahead and grab me a red pepper, a sweet onion, and some Velveeta cheese. I went ahead and chopped that off of camera because my damn camera died. And then I went ahead and chopped up my chicken thighs. I did 1 pack of chicken thighs. And we're going to set that to the side. This is my favorite part. Season your chicken. Season it very well. If you cannot see your seasoning, you do not have enough seasoning on there. So make sure you coat every single piece of chicken very well. Stop being scared to season your food. That's why your food be nasty because you don't have enough seasoning on there. You can't taste it because you don't have enough seasoning. So mix it very well. Make sure all the seasonings throughout the whole bowl of chicken. So here I just grabbed me some Cheez-Its, the extra cheesy kind because I love cheese. Now you're going to do is grab you a Ziploc bag or a grocery bag or whatever works best for you. Pour the Cheez-Its up in there. Mash them up really, really well. I don't like the big chunks in my casserole, but do as you please. And I just put this on top of my casserole. That's it. I put it on top just to give it that little crispy, little crunch as my top layer. So after you done beat them up like this, like you want to do that girl that's fucking with your nigga, just go ahead and set them to the side. And we about to get started on the next step. So here, yes, I use 5 minute rice. I don't care what y'all talking about. I do not know how to make rice. I do not know why. I mean, I just don't know why. Like I can never make rice. So I use the 5 minute rice. Um, because it's quick and it's easy and you can't fuck up 5 minute rice. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use 3 cups of water and 3 cups of rice. And that's all the rice that I'm going to be using for this dish. And it is just enough rice for the casserole dish that I'm going to be using. And don't be like me and forget to clean your rice because I definitely forgot to clean my rice. I'm gonna boil my water for my rice, check on my broccoli. I'm checking to make sure that it's as tender as it needs to be or if I need to turn up the heat. So off camera, I went ahead and I put my chicken in a pot. I put my peppers and my onions in a pot, and I also put my rice in a pot. Right here, you see me mixing up my chicken with chicken bouillon paste. This paste is so, so good. I love chicken bouillon. It gives your food just a different, spice, a little kick, a different little kick. So, yeah. So I have my rice in the bag on a medium low heat. It's looking really good. It's cooking good. Yeah, that 5 minute ain't nothing to play with. So then I'm gonna slide over here to my peppers and my onions. I season my peppers and my onions with my seasoned pepper and my tiger seasoning. I do like to season my peppers because I do like everything that I'm incorporating into my meal to be seasoned. So, just give it that good or whatever. So, yeah, the broccoli is looking really, really good. And we're going to season that broccoli after it's steamed. So here is a little close up of the chicken, baby. When I say it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's looking very, very good along with the peppers and the onions. They looking really, really good. I haven't added any type of juice, any type of water. They just doing their thing. We're gonna go ahead and grab the broccoli and mix it in. And I don't know what type of Iron Man hands I thought I had. This shit was hot as hell. So I'm gonna mix that in with the onions and the peppers. Mix that in really, really well. And then I'm gonna add me a little bit of seasoning on there. It's gonna be the Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning. Um, and if you clumsy like me, I really suggest that you mix this shit in a bowl because I kept on spilling it all throughout my little stove. All you're gonna do now is transfer your peppers, onions, and your broccoli from the skillet to a bowl. And if you just take a second to just look at this, like it looks so good. You can literally eat this by itself. So this is gonna be so bomb when you mix this in with the rest of your ingredients for this dish. So tell me why I never knew what this little star thing was. I always threw it away, but it's so you won't burn your counters after you finish making a hot meal on your with your skillets or your pots or whatever. But now I'm gonna work on my cheese. I'm gonna put that on a low medium heat, and I'm using the same skillet that I use for my onions, my peppers, and that I mix my broccoli in with. So yes, let's go ahead and get into this cheese. So to start off our cheese sauce, we're gonna be using 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream, not the regular kind. So we got that on the stove. We're gonna have that, like I said, at a low medium heat. I'm gonna add a whole bag of Colby Jack shredded cheddar cheese. So then my next step we're gonna do is that Velveeta cheese that we cut up at the beginning. We're gonna use that 8-ounce block of cheese and we're gonna add that. I told you I was clumsy. Look at that shit just falling everywhere. Then we're gonna season our cheese sauce with the onion powder, the seasoned pepper, the black pepper, and the Slap Your Mama Cajun and the paprika. So now what I'm gonna do is kind of try to thin out my cream of mushroom over a medium heat. So I'm gonna keep that on the stove and then look at the cheese sauce. It's looking so good. If you lactose intolerant, you need to go find another recipe to be looking at because there is a lot of cheese in here. We love cheese over here and it looks so good. I decided not to use the cream of chicken, but this is the garlic and herb Irish butter. This stuff is so good. I'm gonna coat the bottom of my casserole dish with this. And I'm just gonna place it in the oven so it'll melt a little bit so I can spread it throughout the bottom of this casserole dish. So once your cream of mushroom has thinned out to your liking, you're just going to transfer that to your cheese skillet and you're going to just mix that in really, really well. So now that your butter is melted and thinned out to your liking, you're going to spread it on the bottom of the casserole dish and set it to the side. So now we're going to start mixing everything. So pour your rice into a bigger pot. Then we're going to go ahead and pour the chicken in that we had set to the side. We're going to make sure we mix those two up first really well. So, make sure we get everything, doing what it's supposed to do. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the onions and the peppers and the broccoli. We're going to mix that up really well as well. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the cheese. It's literally the cheese sauce for me. Like, this is what does it. This is what puts that umph in it for real. So mix that shit up real good. So after you have mixed everything up, go ahead and toss it in your casserole dish, flatten it out, and this is what it should look like. I'm going to add a bag of mozzarella cheese to the top. I'm going to use probably over half of the bag. And then I'm going to go ahead and put those beat up little Cheez-Its that we beat up at the beginning of the video We're going to go ahead and spread it on top of it as well. Make sure you don't have chunks on chunks. Make sure you spread it very, very good. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of the mozzarella cheese, and I'm going to place that on top of the cheeses. And I like doing this because I don't like my cheeses being burnt when I put it in the oven. Too burnt when I put it in the oven. Then, of course, we're going to sprinkle some little parsley on there just to make it look cute. This parsley don't even have a taste to me, but whatever. So then we're going to take our, if I'm not mistaken, these are Surly rolls. We're going to take the Surly rolls and the Irish garlic butter that we had used for the bottom of the casserole dish. And we're going to place that butter on top just to give it a little flavor, a little garlicky butter taste. So when it's all said and done and you got your casserole dish out the oven, you should have it in the oven for, I say, about 15 minutes. This is what it is supposed to look like. This looks so good and it tastes even better when I say it's been about 2 days and we still eating on this. And you know I had to do one for the gram. I had to pull my phone out and I had to get my record on. I had to show everybody what this wrist do in the kitchen on a light meal, like just a light meal. Never gotta do too much. This shit was so good. And I hope y'all enjoy this video. Until next time.